Hey guys, welcome back. I don't remember if this is episode 4 or episode 5. I know this is the first time I've recorded this in a long time. I threw out a lot of the plans that I had for this because I got busy with school and my job and stuff, and a lot of that is on recordings that will also never get out, but yeah, so I'm trying to be more consistent, and with that being said, I have someone who could be here more consistently. Say hello, Kelsin. Or make me look stupid.
What?
God damn it, Kelsin. You know what? I'm gonna leave that in. Alright, Kelsin, say hello to the audience.
Hello, audience.
Okay. So as this is a Too High podcast, I tend to smoke on this podcast. I tend to have people who often do smoke on this podcast. But Kelsin actually doesn't smoke. So today I figured we would kind of talk about everything, and I would kind of see about getting you guys' opinion on why you smoke and get his opinion on why he doesn't, and everybody can just give all their opinions about why they're kind of here in a way. So give us your explanation. Why don't you smoke, Kelsin?
Well, I don't, just because I don't like the look of it, mostly. It's just that the idea of having vapor or whatever smoke just coming out of my nose or my mouth just doesn't appeal to me, really. So it's kind of the aesthetic of it.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's also a pretty gay answer, Kelsin. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Pretty gay answer.
Also, I just don't want any damage to my lungs. I already have to deal with nose.
I mean, yeah, but edibles, Kelsin.
Yeah, edibles, but I don't trust people like that.
You can make your own.
Yeah, but I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay, whenever you come down here, we have to get some weed, we have to make some edibles.
God already.
We have to. I mean, I have some here that are medical grade if you want them. I mean, you can buy edibles in gas stations now. Like, it's all regulated. Here, let me go ahead and turn on the Discord camera for you. Oh, it's not gonna work because it's currently picking up my camera. Shoot. Okay. Okay, Kelsin. So I'm going to show you this, and I'm going to show them this at the same time. Do you think you can pick up on Messenger?
Sure.
I'm going to call you on Messenger.
Okay.
Still stay on here, though.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes.
Alright. You're still on in Discord, so it worked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. However, nothing's coming through on Discord. Maybe that just might be on my end here on Discord. Yes, it is. It did kick you off. Okay. Well, they can still hear me. I don't know if they can still hear you, but they're going to see this really quickly. Yeah. Let me grab this. Okay. So, Kelsin. And So, I know you're seeing my face, Kelsin, but here. So, this right here, is the cannabis edibles that are literally buyable right now from like any smoke shop all across the country. You can literally buy edibles pretty damn easily.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, go ahead and rejoin the Discord. All right, now we're just going to wait for him. This would have been more official, if you would. I wanted to have like a theme song and everything nailed down by now, but you know, guys, I get high, I get tired, and you know, busy with like work and such. Alright, let's see. You back, Kelsin?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So I understand the aesthetic aspect. Like, it doesn't look the nicest to get high, if you will.
Yeah.
But it could also look sleek. Like, I mean, I go everywhere, right? And because of my pen, I really look sleek no matter where I am. You know?
Yeah. And I guess it's also just like health benefits too. I just don't see a reason why I should do it, to be honest. Like, there's little no reason for me to do it. So.
Yeah, I guess some people have reasons, some people don't, medically speaking.
Yeah. Like, I don't have to use it to deal with anything like stress or anything like that. Or I don't have any physical or psychological reasons to do it, so.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't do it. Plus, I've seen what it can do to certain people, and it's just kind of.
It can derail. It can derail some. It can derail your life. I'm not going to lie. You just have to be careful with it and how you use it. It's.
And I just don't want to take the risk.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess the risk is just kind of something I'm used to.
Yeah.
But I can understand. You kind of grew up in a decent neighborhood.
Yeah.
In Clinton, didn't you?
Yeah,
So.
I did. Plus, I just don't like the smell, and plus, my cousin, he was doing all of that, and he always smelled bad. No. So, yeah, that's...
I'm not going to lie, it can get in your clothes.
So, yeah, that's
but
another issue.
I personally love the
The
smell.
car that I have, like, when I first got it, it was his car, actually. And when I tell you, it smelled straight up.
Just gonna let you know, before you keep going, everything's gonna be on the internet. All of this is public.
Oh well. Anyway, it's not like I've named any names or anything. But it just smelled really bad. And it didn't stop smelling like that for like a few weeks.
Nah. Yeah, always gotta bring in those new cars.
Yeah, so That's
So,
nice.
wait. You're driving, Kelsin?
I could say.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, why can't you just come down here yourself?
I could, technically, but not legally.
Well, you know me, Kelsin. I don't really think about the legality of a driver's license because I don't really have one.
I don't either. That's why I'm thinking about it. That's why I have to think about it.
All right, Kelsin. Let's start talking a little bit here. Let's start talking about what you're passionate about. Let's let the audience get to know you a little bit.
What am I passionate about? That was weird. Um, history mainly. I guess that's a thing.
Fate?
Huh?
Did you say fate?
I said history.
You said history?
Yeah.
Okay. What part of history specifically?
Like ancient history, religious history.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. You have a bachelor's in psychology, correct?
Yep.
So before we get into any of this, because I will be kind of bringing up a little bit of how you say a little bit of psychological trauma, not my own, but just psychological traumatic experiences, things in general. But so just to bring a little bit of light into understanding this, he graduated with a BA in psychology from southeastern Louisiana, and I currently have a degree in human psychology, and am working on a political science and political theory degree in the pre-law division from Louisiana State University. So we're both pretty well versed in the realm of psychology and the realm of political discourse and discussion. So before, I just wanted to get that out of the way. We're not saying that we're experts on this data, but we've studied it quite firmly. Anyway, I guess one thing I'm going to start talking to you and asking you a little bit about is, are you kind of aware of what a lot of the psychology has become for the most part?
What do you mean by that?
Well, I remember discussing with you about it a while ago with talking about like my personal stuff, right? Things regarding, me and my family, with like psychologists that kind of take things to a whole other political realm, if you will. I'm sure you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think it's politics just doing a is injecting itself into everything. Yes.
Yeah, and that's scary because at this point, you know, Big Pharma makes a ton of money with that, and nobody really wants to talk about it. Like, the research that I got kind of came to a conclusion that it costs between like 250 and between 130,000 and $250,000 to transition, and that's just in baseline fees for surgeries and etc. etc. So they make a ton of money off of, you know, telling children that they are not who they say they are. And I personally...
Here's what I say about it. Like, as far as the thing goes with practicing psychology and stuff like that, the key and the thing that I was taught and reminded of constantly in all of my psychology classes, like all of them, is to be unbiased, or
of
have
course.
as little bias as possible, and to leave your personal beliefs at the door when you walk into that office.
Of course. Like, me and you would expect, you know, I'm a Hispanic bi man, you're a black gay male. You would expect us to slant towards the LGBT community, but we don't.
Because it's just, well, I've never really saw, like, the whole, I never really identified with anything that goes on there, pretty much, because it's just a bunch of tribalism.
Yeah, and that's really what it is. It's basic human tribalism at its root.
Yeah, and it's like I'll get involved,
and there's plenty of tribal ways, like nationality and things of that nature. It's also human tribalism, but still.
Yeah, it's like at least the American way of that is going. It's very tribalistic and very.
Oh yeah. I mean,
good.
Like I said, I worked on the campaigns for some people in New Hampshire, and it was crazy, man. I went up there, and we would knock on their doors, and a lot of them had their minds made up before I even said who I was. Like, they would instantly read the handouts that you would, you know, give them and be like, yay, I love you, or boo, fuck you, based on what you were handing out. Not even asking or wanting to get to know who you might be, but just because of the paper, the little piece of paper that's in your hand decides whether they like you or hate you. I had somebody who said he was former military. I probably would get along with him in every other circumstance. But because I was handing out a paper for a Republican, he snapped on me. And it just kind of shows that tribalism of some people. They get locked up in party think and political ideology. And I'm not saying that it doesn't happen on the Republican side as well. It happens everywhere. And it really needs to be addressed because it's a very, very big problem.
Yeah. And I think it's just, I'm going to use this, and I know most people are probably going to yell at me and scream at me for it, but it's quite sinful, too. Like, there's just so much promiscuity and nihilism, and it's just very bleak. Like,
it is a very bleak way to live your life, to constantly be bouncing around from place to place. And
like, okay, like, I get it. Everybody has their whole phase, okay? Like, everybody has
that is the perfect way of putting that. Everybody has their whole phase. But once you hit that point, though, you can't be hoeing around anymore, you know? There's a certain point where you can't be doing that type of thing anymore, because it's just a natural part of growing up.
And the thing that really I hate the most about the whole LGBT, I'm not even going to call it a community, but what that whole group, that whole section of people, it's like an echo chamber. And if you present an ideal that's not what they want you to follow, then you're kicked out, basically. Or you're judged immensely for it. Like, they do the exact same thing that they tell other people not to do.
Yeah. One thing that made me really pissed.
I can't get with the hypocrisy of it. Like, at least with conservative Republicans, you know what you're getting. And they are not going to shy away about how they feel about those types of things. And you know the typical, like, I believe that marriage is between man and woman. We were created to procreate, yada, yada, yada. You know you're going to get on.
But you also know that even still, they'll probably still shake your hand at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's the reality of the situation. Is with Republicans, like let's say for Ben Shapiro, for instance, I guarantee if I walk up to Ben Shapiro, say, "Hey Ben, I'm a libertarian," I guarantee he would fucking shake my hand all the same, just the same as fucking fucking Joe Jorgensen or someone in the Libertarian Party would, or nonpartisan individuals would, right? And that's the real thing. Is you can, at least this is for me, I can interact more with Republicans, much more with Republicans than I ever can Democrats. Democrats often shy away from discussion with me almost immediately. One of my friends I brought over a while ago showed them the guns, and immediately they were scared. And I'm just like, I can't really comprehend being afraid of weapons, because I haven't my entire life. That there's just disconnects between me and some Democrats, because I guess because I've faced a little bit more than they have in life up to this point. But it's one of those things that's pretty crazy.
It's like a thing of, like, they talk about love and acceptance and all of that stuff, but when you actually try to gain some type of empathy from them from a certain lens, you don't receive that.
I mean, we look at
spoiled children, pretty much.
Yeah, well, I mean, we kind of look at if we look at Dave Rubin and we look at Tulsi Gabbard, we can see the writing on the walls. Whenever it comes down to it, if you're a Democrat that steps out of place, you're going to be excommunicated, if you will. It's kind of fucked up.
It is kind of fucked up. Like, I've seen a lot of, like...
You could say the same thing happened to Bernie Sanders, but because he's not establishment enough for the Democrats. He's too far left. Bernie Sanders is too far left for the Democrats. And Donald Trump is too far left for the Republicans. But the Republicans fucking love him. That's the crazy part about it. We have to accept that Donald Trump is not a conservative at all. And that a lot of these ideas that Trump came up with are not conservative values either.
It's too far left conservatives, but for the Republicans, but he's too far right for the Democrats.
And he's just right for everyone in the middle, which happens to have... Well, not everyone in the middle, but everyone who just wants a meme to vote for. Like...
Yeah, like, everyone, the people who are, like, I used to work in a store a lot, so you get to see a lot of people's insights on, politics and all of that stuff, right? At least in your local area. And I can't tell you how many people said, oh, I wish Trump was back in office, or I wish we had someone new, I wish we had someone different. Because
Oh, yeah.
It's like, our current president is just, he's trash. He's trash.
Yeah, he's trash. There's no other way to really put it out there, but he's just...
old man.
He's lost his mind. I've made it very clear, at least in and of myself. I try to be honest as possible anyway. But whenever it comes to Donald Trump, he at least was able to keep sentences together. That's all I'll say. Thank God he was able to keep sentences together.
Sometimes, yes.
They were, some of them were more inflammatory than I would have wanted them to be, but they were still sentences. We weren't having like 7 of the top world leaders laughing in our face. Did you see that whenever he announced a second time that England was a part of a G7 summit and everybody busted out laughing at the leaders table? Like that I was like, what the fuck, man? That's crazy. And then I turned on CNN and they said nothing about it, and I was like, that makes sense. Now see, if you combine a little bit of CNN with a little bit of Fox News, you'll probably get the right amount of crazy. Mostly conservative with a tiny bit of criminal justice reform and marijuana legalization in there. That's the perfect amount. I kind of want to talk to you about that, because I know you don't use marijuana, but how do you feel about it being legalized overall?
It's like I said many times before, they've had worse stuff legalized, so I don't see what the problem is with having this legalized.
That's an understandable viewpoint. I have to say that's an understandable viewpoint.
Far more worse and addictive substances legalized, so I don't see what the problem is with marijuana. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it seems kind of arbitrary, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Now, I'm not advocating for all drugs to be legalized, but marijuana is pretty much harmless compared to a lot of...
I mean, I would probably advocate for marijuana, probably shrooms, and that would be marijuana, shrooms, and that would probably be it. I would say acid is way too hard a hitter to be legalized, personally. And I don't think crack and cocaine should be legal at all. That shit is very addicting and very expensive and completely worthless. I feel like that with a lot of opiates, but maybe it's because I have ADHD, so opiates have a different effect on me. You know?
I just don't want my mind to be fucked with.
And again, that's an understandable way of thinking about it. Let's say you're like 60 years old. Your whole body is in pain. If I offer you a joint, would you take it then? What?
Like some of those, even when you still have to wean off of like drugs that are prescribed by a doctor, you still experience withdrawals.
Oh yes, yeah.
I have a friend who said that like a few days ago, like as he was weaning off of his medicine, he started having hallucinations and he was hearing voices and stuff.
I have a funny story about this. I was getting off of Vyvanse around the same time that I was getting on as a helping with research at LSU. I'm sure you remember that, right? You were a part of the study that I did.
Yeah, and I hate Vyvanse.
I was just getting off of Vyvanse as that was going on. I was having hot flashes. There was one day where I had to cut out of work like 4 or 5 hours early just because I couldn't do it. My whole body was having flashes, and I couldn't move half the time, to be honest. Like, it was debilitating. It was bad. Like, whenever people talk about the type of shit that's currently legalized, I'm like, you're going to let me use that, but not marijuana for that pain. And
it was.
no.
No, I remember having one medicine for like antidepressants, or like it was either that or a medicine. It was a medicine for antidepressants and anti-anxiety, and I also had one for ADD and one for seizures, and that really messed me up because that just gave me more seizures.
Damn. Yeah, I remember you getting like really winded and almost hyperventilating at practice a lot in high school.
Huh?
I remember you getting hyperventilated a lot in practice in high school.
Yeah, that's because I was having some of the panic attacks and pseudo seizures at the time. I remember I had like 5 in one day, and I had to take me to the hospital.
Alright, let me pull this up right here. It'll be pulled up for Vim. It won't be pulled up for you, Kelsin. But, okay, let's see. Not the window captures.
Oh, and not to mention that I almost died choking on my own tongue that day, too.
You almost died doing what?
Choking on my own tongue.
Choking on your own tongue?
Yes.
Damn.
If Miss Glenn hadn't found me, I probably would be dead.
That's some crazy shit, man. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. That's a terrible way to go. But I'm alive.
Alright. Well, let me grab my fucking phone real quick. Find out. There's always something crazy going on in the world. Oh, shit. Where's my mom?
What?
Damn it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry that there is not a lot of talking right now, guys, but it is fucking 3 in the morning.
Oh shit, you're right.
Kelsin's like, I didn't know how fucking early it was.
Yeah, I tried to sleep earlier, but I just kept waking up, so I was just like, screw it. Stand up.
All right, Kelsin. Any good places you've been to lately?
No.
Outside of that trip to LA, which was like a long time ago.
Nah. Well, I did go on a cruise in October,
Oh, okay.
but that wasn't anything really new there. I didn't really get off the ship. Yeah,
Damn.
because we didn't really go to any new places. I kind of just stayed on board there.
I was in I was in New Hampshire from late Oc from like no from like late September to like early October,
Uh-huh.
and then I was in fucking Jacksonville during November for a couple of days. I have a trip coming up too, going to Phoenix. That should be really cool. To everybody who's here, I plan on getting an absolute shit ton of weed while I'm out there and getting absolutely baked and recording it and putting out a whole shit ton of videos. So if you enjoy shit like this, content like this, just go ahead and uh, make sure to drop that like, and I'll continue to post this type of shit. By the way, this is actually, I want to say, I think this is the first episode of the podcast with the new backgrounds installed. Now, I have to fix the shit with Discord. I can't do the recording like that. And these motherfuckers need to get better lighting whenever they do recordings like this. But I'll eventually get that, and hopefully I'll be able to do all of that and set all of that up. I'm going to be trying to, but yeah. So, Kelsin, I'm just gonna kind of ask you a little bit about school, if you will. Huh?
Ay, Dios mío.
Ay, Dios mío.
Sí.
¿Por qué? ¿No te gusta escuela?
What do you want to know?
Okay. So so what would you say was your best experience, if you will, at university?
My best experience. That's a tough one. Let's see. I think it was either going to this. We had like a little Spanish party thing. It was really small, but it was really funny. I don't know. I just picked up a lot of good Spanish music from there, so that's the only reason why. And then there was like, there was this time where I had to go down to New Orleans to a museum, and about there, that was pretty fun. At the kids museum, I got to watch, children and teach them a little bit. That was pretty cool, actually.
Sounds like it's interesting. Well, I would honestly say my most interesting time in college that isn't illegal would be some of the discussions that I've had with professors. Being a political science professor.
Apologies, what you're saying.
Huh?
I said, are you saying you did do illegal shit? Spill the details.
Am I saying that I did do illegal shit?
Yes.
Nigga, you trying to get me hung up, aren't you?
Yeah.
You dirty motherfucker. I ain't talking about anything till the statute of limitations is gone. Till that date, I have done nothing wrong. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the other most interesting thing was there was this, was having well, not really having, but listening to the conversation between a rabbi, a Jewish rabbi, someone from, a preacher from from a Methodist, from a Methodist church, and the Baptist church in a seminar about allowing LGBTQ people into the churches and synagogues and stuff like that. That was pretty interesting.
Okay.
Really interesting.
Stance of all three of them. Go. Do you remember?
If I can remember all more. Well, like the argument about, you know, the churches when they say "come as you are," but they don't really mean it. It's basically just that principle of like, why are you shutting people out of the church if
so Southern Baptist is what I'm hearing?
God, you know? Like, and I'm not saying that they should be like advocating for, you know, to fill the churches up just because. I mean, like, you could actually be trying to help people come closer to God by allowing them in instead of shutting them out.
Of course.
If you're shutting them out, that's just going to bring them to literal hell in the sense of absence of God. They're going to actively push God out of their life.
Yeah, and
that's happened in many cases, and that's why a lot of atheists exist. It's because they've been dealt a bad hand by
other religious people that have kind of pushed them away from religion.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely an understandable concept. It's kind of the reason why I was atheist for a long time. Is because whenever you ask questions, a lot of religious people have no answer. So whenever you go to look for it yourself, you tend to find your own answer. Oftentimes that answer is wrong whenever you look back in retrospect, but it seems smart to you at the time.
Yeah, that's the thing that they don't like. They feel the biggest questions that most religious and non-religious, I want to say extremists, but I don't think that's the right word. I'm going to just say zealots. Non-religious and religious zealots. It's that they don't like why and they don't like how. Those are the two questions that they don't like.
I just thought about something, Kelsin. I'm actually in an LSVI shirt right now. We've talked about LSVI, but I also have weed plants all plastered around my background. I hope this isn't a problem.
Maybe that's why they won't accept your applications or anything.
Motherfucker. Now you made me have to edit, you piece of shit. Alright, well, I'm gonna hit this tab real quick.
Well, we'll just cut that out.
You cut it out, motherfucker. You're the one who made me say it.
Okay, just use, I don't know. Okay, fine, then I'll download something and edit it out.
He'll download something.
Yeah, like maybe Anchor or something.
Yeah, figure it out. We'll figure it out. I'll send you. I'll tell you what. I'll figure out a way to zip the file down and send it to you. Then I'll have you edit it for us. I'll also send you one extra file though in that zip file. It'll be the intro. It goes before all of my videos. Oh, by the way, I meant for the last episode of this, if it actually is the last episode of this, I have no clue where my upload schedule is, and I have done like no editing, and I leave tomorrow to go spend time with family for Thanksgiving. Even though today was technically Thanksgiving, I digress. Kelsin was supposed to be here this weekend, and now he's not, and I'm very sad. I would have been able to do this whole live stream in person, but I can't.
Yep.
And that kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm.
But I also love my family, so I'm going to be going home and spending time with them. And there will be, I hope that there will be plenty of these recorded and edited in the future. I'm going to start working with Kelsin a little bit, hopefully on the whole editing thing, and kind of turn him into a little bit of an editor on this. I would love for this to actually go somewhere. I really don't think it will because YouTube tends to throttle content like this, but I really hope it goes somewhere. All right, now let's.
Speaking of YouTube, I was thinking about starting a YouTube channel, but I don't really know what I want to talk about.
Yeah, my YouTube channel is kind of all over the place. This is actually part of my YouTube channel. I've had a ton of video games and stuff. If you wanted to play like fucking video games and shit, I would love to do that because that would give me somebody that would like play fucking video games with me. And that's really what I've been lacking is somebody to play with me.
Hey, boy. I mean, that'd be good, I guess, because I suck.
That would be fun. I think I know exactly the game too. But I'll tell you about that after we're done with the live stream here. Well, not live stream. I say live stream, but really this is all going through the editing process, and so it's not live. But it's as close to live as you're going to get nowadays. I don't like to do a lot of editing, mainly because it's an ass. It's not an ass load of work. Okay, it's a decent amount of work, but it's not too much work, and I would love to put it in. But I just don't really, I don't know, man. Whenever I don't see it adding up to views and such, things of that nature, I just choose not to do it. Anyway, Kelsin, back to politics. Are you still there, good sir?
Mm-hmm.
Elon, yes or no? Just no context, no context given, no context necessary, yes or no?
I don't care.
You dirty motherfucker.
To be honest, I really don't care.
You don't care?
No.
I have to say yes. I have to say yes. Like I don't like the whole electric car thing is kind of odd. So I'm not going to say completely yes. I'd have to say...
I mean, until they start building chargers everywhere for those electric cars, just don't do it. Don't get one.
And even still, those chargers still run on the same electric grids. Until they upgrade the electric grids, you're not going to be able to have any extra fucking cars on the road, man. I mean, think about it right now. 1% of car owners drive those fucking electric cars. And California is already asking people, please don't charge your electric car during the night. Like, think about that. That's crazy to me.
California's just badly run altogether. Like, we just need better government.
That state is almost as poorly run as Louisiana. That's not a good thing, California. Louisiana has one thing up on you. Oftentimes, anything that benefits Louisiana benefits me. So, I'm okay with corruption in Louisiana as long as it benefits me.
And I'm okay with it because I don't really care that much. And most people down here don't really give a shit about politics anyway.
That's true.
And they find a way to make it work either way. Most of the time. I see more people complaining about things on a national level than at a local level. Or a statewide level.
What happened?
I said I hear people complain more on a national level than on a state level when it comes to here.
That's true. And it's interesting because a lot of the issues with the national government, people don't even talk about down here.
Yeah. Really strange.
It is pretty strange. Alright. Well, it's been about an hour, so I know this one kind of went a bit slow. But I'm going to go ahead and kind of take us out. Kelsin, I'm going to ask you this question. Last question. What did you think about being on the podcast for the first time? And are you planning on being a regular or being a recurring character?
It was pretty cool. I mean, I'd like to be at least a regular, maybe. That
would be very, very, very beneficial, I feel. Alright, so that is all for today. If you did enjoy, make sure to drop a like. Make sure to comment down below. Make sure to subscribe. And more than that, I want to hear ways that we can better this. If you have any way that I could fix the problem in the top over here, it's reversed for me and I'm too high. I can't tell that. Anyway, if you have any fixes for that or any ways in which you think I can modify this outer look, go ahead and drop them down below. Let me know how I can, better the stream, because I do want to better it. Anyway, other than that, hopefully you all did enjoy. If you did, make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe. I know I said that a million times already. Good. Bye.